Hello everybody, this is Drew. Welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to build the Airfix 1/72nd scale P-40B Warhawk, and as usual we're going to start with the cockpit. And here I am cutting out the fuselage halves because I'm going to paint the sidewall details and the cockpit the same color. So I'll get those off the sprue and we'll start putting it all together. So once I got all the cockpit pieces assembled, I'm going to go ahead and give it a primer coat of Stynylrez Black. So I decided to paint all the interior parts with Model Masters Acryl RAF Interior Green. I think it looked better than Zinc Chromate. Looking at reference pictures, I think this color of green best represents the color of the original aircraft, which makes sense because these original P-40Bs were sold to the British under the Lend-Lease Act, and then the British sent them. I think they sent 100 aircraft over to the American Volunteer Group in China, and so I think a lot of them were painted in British colors originally. I don't know if you can still get this paint or not because basically Model Masters is done. So what you see on the shelf is what's left of the inventory, since Rust-Oleum has shut down all Model Masters production. So if you can find it, get it. It's a good paint. Otherwise, go with maybe Vallejo Gray Green, or I think Tamiya Interior Green looks like this as well. And here I'm putting on the instrument panel decal. So I'm going to give the interior a wash with this Citadel Newell oil wash, and it works really well. You just brush it on and you can dab up the excess with a cotton swab and just let it dry, and it brings out a lot of the details and makes everything kind of pop. So after I prime the whole model using Steinerres black primer, it's time to move on to the main colors. So I'm going to start with the underside first, and using this Vallejo Model Air. It's called Curtis Gray. After I mask the bottom of the plane, I'm going to paint the brown color first on the top, and this is Model Air USAAF brown, and then I'll mask it off for the green.
got it all unmasked, and I think it looks okay. Also got the prop assembly together, and I usually, because there's going to be decals on the propellers, I usually leave that off and then put it on at the very end when I'm done. But if you notice, when I put this in here, it's a little off. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably go ahead and cut this off and just glue it where it's even with where it's supposed to be. So I'll take care of that. And otherwise, canopy is unmasked, so looks alright. I'm going to give it a gloss to protect it, and then get it ready for decals, and put the decals on, and we'll be about done. Alright, thanks.
So after the gloss dried, I put the decals on, and I'm sorry I lost the footage for that. So once I got the decals on, I decided to give the model a wash. So I went ahead and recoated it with a gloss coat to seal and protect the decals, and I moved on with some Flory clay washes, and I used dark dirt. I did add a little black as well, just to kind of darken up some of the top areas. Here I'm just using some black pastel chalk to make exhaust stains, and I also made some smoke stains for the guns. Here I'm just using some black pastel chalk to make exhaust stains. I also used it to make smoke stains from the guns.
We're near the end. I went ahead and painted up the pilot. Pretty crude looking. He is tiny. I had to use my mag visors to see that. But he'll look okay. So let's put him in. And this is Flight Leader Charles Older, flying number 68. And then all I have left to do is attach the windscreen and canopy. Now also note too that these are molded together. So I guess if you really want to be hardcore and cut this in half and maybe pose the canopy open, you probably could do that. but I'm not going to chance that on such a small piece of plastic. So yeah, it just sits on there like that. Looks like a good fit. I haven't glued it down yet, and so we can see down in the cockpit a little bit. And that's it. So other than a few fit issues that I mentioned earlier, I think overall it goes together pretty well. It's a fun kit. Decals went on pretty well. They eventually snuggled down into the panel lines. I used a couple coats of Solvaset because they are a little thick. The red stripe is a little bit difficult to get into correct position because it's not curved, it's just straight, and so I'd probably tackle that a little bit different next time if I build the kit again. Okay, but otherwise it looks okay. Take that off. See the underside. There's put a little bit of gun smoke streaking on the gun barrels, and other than washing and adding some smoke with the pastel chalks, I really didn't do any other further weathering. I didn't chip it or anything like that. I kind of like my models more clean, with just a little bit of weathering, and that's about it. So, but there she is. Right. Hope to see you again on the next video, guys. I appreciate it, and if you are kind enough to give me a sub and a thumbs up and any comments, I'd appreciate it. And hit the bell notification if you want to be alerted of my next build videos and what I got going on. So hope everybody has a great week. I hope everybody enjoyed the 4th of July. To my friends across the pond, I'm sorry.